Welcome to Loving Lymph. Feeling your feet on the earth and letting the toes wiggle and jiggle. Add in the fingers. And then come to the spleen on the left, the liver on the right. Soften the knees. And see if you can make some circles in one direction. And then the other. Taking the palms upwards, reaching up. Feel how this lengthens the space for the spleen and liver. And then going to stroke. Imagining here into the tonsils. If they haven't been removed, there are 5. 2 at the back of the mouth, 2 at the back of the tongue, and 1 in the upper throat. Now we're going to tap the thymus gland. So spleen, tonsils, thymus gland, all part of the lymphatic system. So I'm going to turn, you don't necessarily need to. I'm going to take the left leg forwards and we're opening forwards and back. Then I'm going to take the weight into the front leg. You're resting on the back large toe, or possibly a few others as well. Coming up. If you want to balance, take off the foot. Then we're bringing that back leg in. We are lifting our heels and opening the arms. We come back. So the other leg. Coming forwards and Resting the large toe, possibly even lifting it for a balance. Then it comes in. We lift the heels, the arms open, and so does the chest with the thymus gland. And then we come back. So the lymphatic system has lymph vessels. We have a flow. We're going to let the fingers and the toes have a wiggle jiggle here. And then the weight into the right so that the left heel can come up with the arms, or you might even balance. Then we're bringing that all the way back. We have a push, return. From here. So you might need to put your hands down. You might be able to do it without putting your hands down, but we're lowering the knee. We're bringing the leg forward. We're having a lunge here. We're bringing the hands to the lower back. We have a lymphatic duct here. And then we're combing around the lower rib cage at the front to follow vessels of the lymph system. And then at the top, and then we have a gather in. So the lymphatic system moves from the periphery into the center. The gathering in. From here, we're going to bring the hands down. Bring the front leg in. And then coming into a standing forward fold. Soften through the knees. Bring the pelvis forward. Roll on up. And we get to explore this on the other side. So our toes are and fingers wiggling, jiggling, a sense of fluidity, a sense of moving from the periphery. It's stimulated here. We have the weight now into the left so that the right leg either lifting the heel or the whole foot, the arms come up. And then we have that placement back. Pushing. So the lymphatic fluid has more of the quality of the venous blood flow. So it's this gentler movement back. Then from here, we're coming down. You might need your hands to help you. Otherwise, we bring that down. I'm just taking my foot a little bit further forward to support my lunge with a small back bend. The hands coming back around the second, third lumbar vertebra where you have a lymphatic duct. Then combing in the lower part of the rib cage. Then the upper part. And then a sense of gathering in. Letting the hands come down. Bringing the front leg back, the back leg forwards. Feeling that connection down to the earth, through the feet, through the upper body. And then softening knees, pelvis coming through. So shaped like a kidney bean, natural bean. So similar to a kidney, much, much smaller. You have the lymph nodes. They act as a filter. They can collect harmful substances, and with different kinds of lymphocytes, white blood cells, they can disarm or destroy foreign bodies that we don't want. So these lymph nodes in the neck, lace fingers, bring the elbows together, open. Two more. Then we have the armpits. So as well as the armpits, the vessels that we combed a few moments ago around the rib cage area, they'll have lymph nodes there as well. Then to the groin, where we also have them. We're coming a little bit wider. Come up a little to one side, the other side. A deeper bend, one side, the other side. We also have them around the knees. And the elbows. To emphasize this, we'll come to cactus arms and deepen the bend as far as is comfortable for you. And we have our flow now for the lymphatic system and how it's moved along. So it has no internal pump, so it needs the skeletal muscles, our breathing, to help the fluid move along the vessels. So we are squeezing fingers and toes like a pumping action. Then we're coming into a chair. If it's available here, see if you can lift your heels up. Then they come down. The hands are at the front of the legs, and we have that extended spine here. We then bend the knees, let the arms come back. We're going to take the left leg now back. It's turned out a little so that we can, with our arms, make circles. Coming back in. We'll take the hands now to the lower rib cage area. Have a sense of the diaphragm. Bend the front leg. We're connecting into the in and outflow of breath, which acts as a pump to move the lymphatic fluid along. Then coming out of that, we are swiveling, or I am. You might need to change legs. So we have the other leg in front. So the squeezing toes and fingers. We also have this movement, if you bring the hands one on top of the other, with the peristalsis of the digestion. So that motion is also helping to move the lymphatic fluid along. From here into the chair. If it's available, lifting up the heels. Hands then to the front. Extending the spine. Bending knees, arms back. Right leg this time, back. There's a slight turn out of the foot. And then we find these circles. Then we're turning. Bend the front leg. Connect into your breath. Feeling the movement of the flesh under your hands. And then bringing that back in. Coming to find your folded arms. Just a little movement one way, the other way. Change the arms over, one way, the other. Now we're transitioning onto hands and knees. I will need to adjust my camera and have a drink, so I will see you then. Shifting of weight, side to side, pushing with the spleen on the left, the liver on the right. Now, the spleen is the largest lymphatic organ, and the liver also will detoxify, break things down. So, in a sense, has a lymphatic capacity. So I come into a low kneeling. You could come to a high kneeling. I'm going low, so I stay in camera. In fact, I will turn as well. I'm going to stroke tonsils. Tap the thymus. Squeeze spleen, liver. We'll connect all these together by bringing the hands forwards and dropping the weight through. Back. We're repeating twice more. And then bring hands in so they're underneath the shoulders. So, the flow. We're taking the left arm, then the right. The left leg, then the right. We're taking the left leg and the right arm. Then we're taking the left leg out. We are arcing over. We come back. This leg comes in. We find our half camel. And then a downward facing dog. So I will turn for the other side. We have the right arm, left, right leg, left. We have the right leg and left arm. So you can either put this knee down with the right, or you can take it immediately out. The toes are facing towards your fingers or in the same direction as your fingers. We'll arc it over. We come in. The toes are curled under. We have our half camel. Back for a downward facing dog. Knees coming down. Hands out a little, bending the elbows, bringing the crown down and circling the pelvis, which will create movement in the head and neck. Circle the other way. So a little focus on the lymph nodes. Coming into a high child, forehead down. Letting the pelvis push you onto the crown and back. So we're still with the lymph nodes in the neck. tiny filters, collecting things that we don't want and disenabling or destroying them. Take a pause. So for the armpits, sliding the hands away. Your arms might be straight, they might be bent. See what suits you. And then we're flaying the shoulders up and out. And we'll come back all the way up. So lymph nodes in the groin area, the right leg. Circle, 2, 3, the other direction. 1, 2, 3. Then we slide this through. You might stay here. You might bend. You might bring opposite hand to foot. Could be pointed foot, could be flexed foot. And then we come back in. So I'll turn on the other side. We have the other leg circling, 2, 3, change, 2, 3, all the way through. Either staying here or bending, opposite hand, either pointed or flexed. Releasing. So we have one more flow on hands and knees. We bend at the elbows, 1. Bend them back towards your legs, 2 and 3. The toes are curled under, the knees hover off. You lift them, 1, 2, and then on the third one, into the downward facing dog. The left leg then comes off a little, or it might come higher. We're then bringing it down. You can either put the foot on the floor and hop through, or you might be able to swing through, so that we are in a lunge. Taking left arm over, we're pulsing, 2, 3. Then we're going to place the hands down. The toes are curled under. Pop the foot in so you can come to a folded pyramid. Then we'll place the hands. You have an extended one. And hands come down. You can either change legs, or I'm just turning round. So this will bring my other leg in front. We get ready to go on the other side. So we have elbows, 1, 2, 3. This is a sense of how the skeletal muscles can create a pump to make the fluid go along. Knees off, And then we have lift up, back, we're hovering, up, back, up and in to the downward facing dog. From here, we take the right leg this time. It might come off a little bit, it might come higher. And then that's coming back down. You either place the foot down and hop, or you might find that you can swing it through. So you're looking for your lunge. We find our stability. The right arm comes on top and we are pulsing here. Let's do another one. Then the hands come down, the back toes going to help you come in to the folded pyramid first. So your hands might be on your legs, they might be on the floor. From here, extending out. We'll bring that back down. And come into a comfortable seated position. So however you'd like your legs. Coming to the tonsils again. There are 5 of them. We'll tap the thymus gland. And squeezing spleen and liver. We'll take hands and just press up here. Oh, a flow. The right leg is bent. We're lifting up. We're folding forwards. We're sliding the hands now back to about the knee level and lengthening the spine through rather than curling this way. You can see that really contracts the shoulders, bunches out the abdomen. We're lifting it through. Come back up, extend and fold with both legs. We're sliding back, hands behind, lifting up, either staying here or bring the pelvis up too. And then we come back down. We bend. Half boat modified, full boat modified. We come back. The right leg stays bent. The left leg lengthens. We come into the, I'll slide, I'm losing myself. Let the bent leg lengthen. Feet can be flexed or pointed. And then we bend that right leg to enable us to come back up. And then we're going to change over. So it will be the left leg that's coming out. We fold. We're sliding our hands back to the knee, extending through the spine, so the chest comes through rather than collapsing. We come up a bit higher so we can release the leg and fold again. We're sliding all the way back up, the hands are behind, we're lifting up. We can stay here, or we might choose to lift up. It helps to point the toes with this one. And we're back down. Half boat with support, a full boat with support. Come back, the left leg stays bent so that you can come into the fish. We keep the head lengthened through the neck. So this is a modified fish as well. You might like to try and lengthen the leg. We're resting on palms and lower arms. Then bend the leg again and find your way back up. So, for the nose now, squeezing the sides of the neck. I'm going to leave the hands placed here and find some micro movements for the head. So I'm just very subtly circling in one direction and then in the other direction. Come down to the armpits. And then the groin. So we'll find our butterfly here. Taking the hands then to the knees, the elbows. Coming to a bent wide position. We're bending at the elbows and knees, then we're lengthening out. Bending in. Elbows and knees may possibly touch. This time when you're lengthened out, hands back here, the sense of where the legs meet the pelvis, just up around here. You've got the lymph nodes, and then we'll take this into a fold. Back. we have another flow. Extended butterfly, circling 1, 2, 3. Lengthening the legs, hands to the lower rib cage, connecting to the breath, which creates a pump. Then the arms forwards, bending the left leg and arm, bow and arrow 1. You can actually come and look behind you. And a third one. Taking this left leg, bending it in, wrapping around spinal twist. Coming back. Picking up the spent leg, squeezing now, fingers and toes. So doing this helps to move the lymphatic system that starts at the periphery and comes into the center. Then you have a choice. You can create a little rock and be still, or some of you might be able to take the knee up to the shoulder, have a little rock, and then be still. From here, we are bending that leg. We're coming on to palm and lower arm. Arcing through. Two more, either with the pelvis down, or you might find that the pelvis can also lift as you do this. And then we're going to come down. We're going to start with the tonsils. Take this into a head curl, which will also bring in the nodes at the neck. Then down to the armpit here. We will arc that over. And then to squeeze. And tap. So from tapping the lymph, we're going to bring the palm down, the top leg comes over, and then we're going to push the other leg back. We might stay here, we might bend it and see if we can take hold of it, and this is going to really reach us through. And we bring that back in. We are taking the top leg, it's going to come open. So again, you've got the lymph nodes there. Going to have a pulse. Then we're lengthening that leg. The other one's coming over and flex the lengthened legs, foot, and lift and lower. You'll probably feel this into the groin as well. We soften that back. We return to semi-sitting. As we come up, we're going to let the legs come the other way. And we're coming to the other side. So we're going to have our butterfly. We are circling. Settling. Breath. And then bow and arrowing. Spinal twist. Coming back. We are resting, squeezing. So this stimulates the lymph, which starts at the periphery, to travel into the midline, back to the heart. Then we can either have a rock like this and then take it into stillness, or possibly the knee to shoulder, a little rock, and then take it into stillness. We come out and we find our belly sitting on the other side. So we have these arcs. Two more, possibly with a pelvic lift. And then we come down. So I'm going to just touch around the tonsils. We have a head curl, which will take in the lymph nodes in the neck as well. We'll just have a touch into the lymph nodes and the armpit. And then arc up and down. Squeeze into the sides here. Remember, spleen on the left, liver on the right, tapping into the thymus. And then top leg down. The back leg pushes us back as far as it can. You can either stay here, or you might want to lift up the lower leg, take hold with the foot, or you could pulse without touching. but this opens you right through the front of the body. The top leg opens here, so you have the lymph nodes. Little pulse back. And then also for the lymph nodes, we'll lengthen the underneath leg. The other one comes on top. We flex the foot, lift and lower. From here, we're going to roll onto our backs. The knees are bent. We have a few pelvic tilts. So there is a duct in the lumbar region, or just in front of the lumbar region, or a reservoir of lymphatic fluid. And this movement will help to move it up towards the heart. Then the hands coming down. We're pushing down through arms, shoulders, feet in order to rise. Then let both heels lift. We're going to keep them lifted as we just very slowly roll down through the spine. When all the spine is down, lower the feet. So we're going to do that one more time. So we're pushing down through the hands, the feet. We're rolling all the way back up. We are then lifting the heels and slowly rolling all the way back. Taking the hands to the nodes here in the groin. We're going to let the big toes come together. We're going to lengthen and bend. As you bend this time, bringing that into the butterfly, taking the arms into this bent position, sometimes called the cactus arms. Then we're lacing the fingers. We are pushing the arms into the hero and back. So just connect us into the armpits and the lymph nodes there. Then the knees come up. The back of the head comes into the hands. We bring the elbows together. So the tonsils, lymph nodes in the neck. Let the arms come out. We're taking the right leg across the left, and then we're letting both knees come to the left, so you have a spinal twist. If that's not comfortable, then do it at the ankle. And if that's not comfortable, keep the legs parallel. So settling in. And finding your way back might help to lift the leg. Then it's the other side, so it's the left leg that crosses over. So it could be at the ankle, could be at the knee. You might stay in parallel. Then both knees are coming to the right. And then come back out. Just lift that one off. Keeping legs in parallel bent. Just let that take you over into a semi-sitting position. A little pause here. From semi-sitting, we will then find our final position. So again, your legs can be lengthened, crossed, a combination, whatever feels good for you. I'm going to just let the arms come forward while we curl the torso back. And then as the arms come back, we'll bring the torso forward. Find your breath with this. And letting the hands come to the shoulders. Circle one way and the other way. Cradling the head one way, little pulse there, and then the other. Coming back centrally, bringing the hands to the thymus, and then dropping down a little to the heart. Closing the eyes. Feeling that your spine can grow down to the earth and up to the sky. You might even feel your heart beating through your hands. Tuning into any other sensations, tingles, twitches, itches, where your body feels heavy, where it feels light, where it feels comfy and uncomfy. Being open to feelings that are you. Through your ears, you have the sounds of your external environment, your space, my space. On your skin, the air, whether it feels warm, cool, cold, hot. Notice how you're responding. And then softly opening the eyes to light, colours, textures, shapes of your external environment. thank you all very much for sharing the journey with the lymphatic system. So taking time to transition and adjust. You might want to stimulate the skin, your outer layer. And doing what you need to make your journey beyond the session. And I'd like to thank you again for joining me on Loving Lymph. Thank you.